Today the topic of my presentation is the 5 generations of computer. In the beginning there were large size simple calculating machines. Now we have smaller and much more powerful machines. This evolution of computer is called the generation of computer. Now we have technological development, better, cheaper and smaller computers that are more powerful, faster and efficient. There are 5 generations of computer based on 4 criteria or 4 points. Point 1, the technology used by them, that is hardware and software. Number 2, computing characteristics, speed, that is number of instructions executed per second. Number 3, physical appearance, and number 4, their applications. Now the first generation of computer, which started in 1940 up to 1956. They used vacuum for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory. They were often huge and took up entire room. Number 3, they relied on machine language. Number 4, they were very expensive to operate and generated a lot of heat, which was often the cause of malfunctions. Example of the first generation computers are the UNIVAC and the ENIAC. Advantages of the first generation computer: they were only electronic devices, and number 2, first device to hold memory. Disadvantages are too heavy, that is large in size. Number 2, vacuum tubes burnt again and again. And number 3, they were producing heat and had maintenance problems. Now we move to the second generation computers, which started in 1956 and up to 1963. Number 1, transistors replaced vacuum tubes. Number 2, they moved from cryptic binary machine language to symbolic. Number 3, high-level programming languages were being developed. For example, early versions of COBOL and Fortran. And number 4, they were the first computers to store instructions in their memory. Now, advantages and disadvantages of the second generation computers. Advantages: number 1, smaller than first generation, and number 2, more reliable. Disadvantages: number 1, they were heated quickly, and second, they had maintenance problems. Now let's come to the third generation computers, which started in 1964 and they remained up to 1971. Number 1, integrated circuit was developed. We also call it IC. Number 2, the size of the transistors was reduced. Number 3, punched cards and printouts were replaced with keyboards and monitors and interfaced with an operating system. And number 4, they allowed the device to run many different applications at one time. Advantages of the third generation: ICs are very small in size. Number 2, improved performance. Number 3, production cost cheap. And the only disadvantage is that ICs are sophisticated, so they go out of use very easily. We move to the fourth generation computer, that is from 1971 up to present. Number 1, the microprocessor brought the fourth generation of computers. 2, from the central processing unit and memory to input-output controls on a single chip, and GUIs, the mouse and handheld devices started to be used. Advantages of the fourth generation computer: number 1, they were developed for totally general purpose, use general purpose computers. Number 2, smaller in size and much more reliable than the other generation of computers. Number 3, the heat generation was negligible. Disadvantages: the very advanced technology was required to fabricate the ICs. Number 2, a high quality and reliable system or technology can only make the ICs. And number 3, cooler is required. We also call it fan. Now, the fifth generation computer, they are based on artificial intelligence. Number 2, they are still in development. For example, voice recognition. Number 3, parallel processing and superconductors are being used. And number 4, they are moving towards natural language input and can learn and organize themselves. Now, advantages of the fifth generation: they are very smart machines. Number 2, they are extremely fast and have great memory storage. Number 3, they can communicate with humans. And number 4, they can understand sign language, images and graphs. Thank you very much.